Welcome to River's Edge Homestead. Today's project is to build a grow table. Now, my wife said to me this weekend, we got to start thinking about getting the tomatoes seeded, getting them starting to grow. Now, usually that means that they're on the dining room table, but it can be a bit of a nuisance because A, it takes up your table, and B, my parrots just love new seedlings. So you're forever chasing the parrots off the seedlings. So today we're going to build one in our basement. Now, seedlings, of course, need three things. They need moisture, they need light, they need heat. Now, my basement's well heated, so that's taken care of. We will water the seedlings, so that's taken care of. But we need light to be turned on every 12 hours. So you kind of want to simulate daylight. Now, having said that, the old days we used to just use fluorescent tubes. Nowadays we have grow lights. So I'm going to build sort of a light bar. Nothing fancy, nothing expensive, just something to get going here. It's only something temporary. It runs in the house for a couple months, and then you take it all down. So what do you need to build a light bar? Well, first of all, we're going to need some boxes to put the wiring into. We're going to need some lamp holders. We're going to need something to hold the stuff to. In this case, I'm just using an 8-foot 2x4. We're going to need some grow lights, and we're going to need some wire. Now, this is just an old extension cord that I cut in half with the snowblower one year, and being me, the pack rat that I am, I kept it, and I have enough here to wire up this temporary light fixture. And to control the lights, we just have a very simple mechanical timer. Nothing fancy, just something we can buy at Canadian Tire, Home Depot, Walmart, wherever you happen to be. And you're going to need some hand tools, a drill, cutters to cut the wire. You're going to need an assortment of screwdrivers and stuff. I happen to have a toolbox just for electrical, so things kind of are all in there that I'm going to need. But as you go along, you'll see you're going to need a Robertson head screwdriver. Some of these will come with slots. In this case here, these comes with Phillips. So you're going to need assortment of screwdrivers. I personally don't like using a hand screwdriver to put stuff into wood, so I use a drill with a driver bit on it to drive things into the wood. So I'm going to put this on pause, and we will see how well this goes. I'll pick it up a little bit later. Okay, folks, and here we go. We've got our temporary fixture made. Again, it's temporary, so we could use cord and stuff, extension cord. If you were doing house wiring, you would do something that looks like that. It would be Nomex or Lumex, or I think it's some people, it's known as Romex. NMD 90 is actually what it is. The word for it escaped me at the moment. But because this is temporary, we often do this on construction sites. We just hang some lights with extension cords in between. Now, some critical things about the lights. Okay, folks, sorry about that. Some critical things that you need to do properly when you do this kind of fixtures, or when you're wiring up light fixtures. You're going to see this box. The green is got to go to ground. Okay, this is a 2x4. It doesn't conduct electricity. If by any chance a hot wire touches this box, it's got to be able to get to ground. So the last thing you want is you don't want this box being hot and no way of tripping that breaker. Okay. The other thing is white and neutral has to go to the nickel, okay, colored. Okay. And the black has to go to the brass colored. Now the reason for that, if I flip this over, is the nickel is the outside and the brass is the center pin. Okay, when you put a light in, it's going to make contact first with this outer rim, and the very last thing it does is it makes contact with the center. Now, if you get that backwards, and I've seen this done, is that a light breaks and somebody goes to grab the outer, grab this, that part right there with a pair of needle nose or pliers to back it out. Well, that's hot. You've now just electrocuted the guy. So in Canada, this is basically what you do. That's why it's color coded, is so that you know white goes to nickel, black goes to brass. Now, and you've got to ground your boxes because there's no ground between the boxes and your panel unless you run it through the ground wire. If so, this one has a ground wire attached. As you can see, there's two here. There's one here, one there. This one goes from here to that box. This one goes from here to that box, and it carries on. That's how you keep these grounded. If anything hot touches this box, it will trip the breaker. Okay, so that's basically why and how. And if just carry on here a little bit, if you look at a plug, it's 3-prong. Okay, this one here, the long one, is the ground. And if you kind of look, it is longer. The reason being is that you want the ground to establish first. So that when you plug this in, if anything is wrong and this hot, one of these boxes is hot because there's a short in it, this ground makes first. Okay. And so we know that as the rest makes, it's going to pop the breaker. Anyway, so I'm going to finish buttoning this up and we'll carry on from there. Now, there you go, folks. A couple hours of my time, a couple Mackenzie seed starter kits. Somebody was asking about these. The lid here, where's my hand? The lead head, this plastic flips up and over. It creates a little greenhouse. So we got a couple of those, 72 peat pellets in each. So that's what, 144 seeds she could plant of tomato plants if she so desires. And if we step back and I show you the setup, there we go. On the timer's on now. It'll shut off at 4:30, and the job is complete. My dining room table is safe, and we won't have to chase parrots around. Anyway, you have a good afternoon, and this is River's Edge Homestead.